Welcome to another episode of Speak to My Heart. Hey, superstars. I hope everybody is in their right spirit. Because if you're in your right spirit, you're in your right mindset. You guys, I am super excited. I have been waiting all month for this one right here. This is not your ordinary day. This is not your ordinary Speak to My Heart show. We have none other than Coach T back on the floor with us. Hey, Thomas.
What
And
up, though?
today
What up,
he's going,
though?
you guys, he's brought Big Three Man Talk podcast with him, and we put in Speak to My Heart podcast with him, and we're here today, and we're gonna bring you this topic called infrastructure. Mm. One second. I am outside, you guys. I'm at a little place right here outside a little waterfall, a coffee shop. Okay, you got to come outside and do your things. But before we get started, you guys, I want to share with you what Wednesdays look like. Wednesdays are about walking through it, walking from it, and walking away from things, people, places, and things, so that you can continue to walk by faith and not by sight. What does that really look like? Get out your feelings and get in some insight. Get out your feelings. The longer you stay in your feelings, the longer you blocking your blessings. And see, I just came on here today because I was like, T, you sure they ready? I already said y'all wasn't gonna be ready because the conversations ain't regular conversation. The topic is infrastructure. Where did I get it from? I got it from something T posted. I'm not even gonna tell you what it is because he gonna break that down for you, because half of y'all ain't even got building mindsets even to comprehend the word infrastructure in a relationship. You see it in military. Woo-hoo! And then you see it when we're dealing with construction sites, right? But do you see that in your own self? Do you see yourself as building blocks to build something for that high rise of mentality, that high rise of self-control of your feelings, that high rise of stereotypes and negativeness that has took over your mindset and allowed you to be stuck in a normal way of doing and being with somebody else? See, say yes to you was about you sitting up there loving yourself and being able to encourage you, empower you. But it's also about you being able to be that way so you know how to be 100% you with somebody else. Not having hidden motives and hidden agendas, and not sitting up here and got destructive mindset and tearing somebody else down mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And then you wonder why you ain't got somebody with you, male or female. See, I'm a woman over here that done heard enough. That's one. I can count several men on my thing on one hand that I just personally met that has talked about women, the selfishness, the ungratefulness, they got these manipulative. Did I say it right this time? Manipulative mindsets.
Yep,
And
manipulative
then you get
mindsets.
in
Yep.
and and you get in the relationship to tear down a brother or a sister. I don't knock nobody out. Tear down a brother or a sister. And then when a good man or a good woman come along, they're sitting over here. I'd rather be in my own little cup, in my own little box. Like, yeah, you good. I like you. I like our vibe. But baby, I can't do that with you because I done been through X, Y, Z. T is about to break some things down for y'all because I'm just disappointed in the fact if I do try to go out there, I'm getting a good brother who's looking at me like, uh, mm, I'm gonna walk away because I don't know. I'm gonna keep walking and I'm gonna walk around it, Key. We just gonna tiptoe around them conversations and stuff like that. We ain't even gonna try to build together because I done done that. I done been there. It ain't gonna work. It's the whole mindset that's coming to me that's like, well, I'm out here, I'm about infrastructure, I'm dead. But then the brother give you an opportunity only for you to tear him down mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And then talking about, oh, he wasn't doing this. Doing what? What is your expectations in a relationship? Are your expectations in a relationship that high that you don't even see yourself as that low? Mentally, you don't even realize what you're saying. You mean tell me you don't have expectation? I expect a man to be himself. That's it. Be himself. I would rather have you be yourself, and we can work on things that deal with making sure building. Okay, this is how you build. This is how I build. How can we put that together and build together? What's wrong with that? T, take it away. I didn't said my piece. If I get even more upset.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say this. First off, I'm gonna say, um, I appreciate you having me on your show. I know it's streaming from our platform, but this is her show. This is her podcast, Speak to My Heart podcast. And we are just a guest on her show. You know what I'm saying? We're using our platform to have her show, and I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So as far as like infrastructure in the relationship or in the marriage, same difference because they the same. They basically the same thing, just one is legal, one is not. The thing about it is, I came up with like five steps to a successful marriage and relationship, and I've already talked about this before on one of our other shows. I've already talked about this before on one of our other shows, and I can reiterate them again
Thank you.
to get y'all to understand, what it is. If you want to have a successful marriage or a relationship, you know what I'm saying, you gonna understand. The first one, which is the main one, because without this first step, relationships and marriages will fail automatically. And that's respect. Respect goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? If you don't respect somebody, all the other stuff like faithfulness, loyalty, honesty, all that stuff will perish because you don't respect them. If you don't respect them, you're not gonna be loyal to somebody who you don't respect. You're not gonna be faithful to somebody you don't respect. You're not gonna be honest with somebody who you don't respect. You know what I'm saying? And that's just plain simple facts. All right. So respect is the main key. All right. It's the keys, not steps, keys. I'm sorry. But the respect is literally the main key. The second key is compromise. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to compromise. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't compromise, you know, how can y'all think about it? What is a relationship in a marriage? It's a team, right? So the team has to be able to, give themselves and be able to put in the work together to make things right. But they can't do that if they don't compromise. There's no way you can be a team if you don't compromise. So you have to be able to compromise in order to make that, for both of y'all to make that team work. All right. So the third key is sacrifice. You have to be able to sacrifice because if you don't sacrifice, then I mean, how are y'all going to be able to come up with solutions to any problems? You know what I'm saying?
You're
How
not.
y'all going to be able? How you going to even be able to work together as a team if you ain't going to sacrifice something? Because I mean, with marriage, it definitely comes with a lot of sacrifice, on both ends. Y'all have to be able to sacrifice stuff in order to make appease and the other, your mate, and actually be able to do, what I'm saying, make sure that the relationship is going to be going strong. You have to be able to sacrifice because if you don't, it's going to fail. You know what I'm saying? The fourth key, communication. Y'all have to be able to communicate. Y'all can't come up with solutions to problems. Y'all can't, you know, just like the relationship in the marriage period will not be able to go strong at all if y'all not able to communicate. You know what I'm saying? All the toxicity, all the toxicness and the pettiness, you know what I'm saying? And like ladies, y'all saying, oh, men don't know how to communicate, and men saying women don't know how to communicate. It's it's a reason for that. You know what I'm saying? We both don't know how to communicate. No, you're right, Malcolm. Everyone has to sacrifice something to compromise. Yeah, you're right. And compromise. You're right. That's you know what I'm saying, part of the keys. But I'm saying, like, you have to be able to communicate. Because if you don't communicate, y'all both gonna be off, you know what I'm saying, off beat with each other. Y'all not gonna be able to be in sync with each other. Y'all can't be in sync with each other if y'all don't communicate properly.
You said that right there. And the first thing I could think about when you said in sync, because I like music, right? If you think about in
Mhm.
sync, that means we're not dancing to the same melody. So, what melody are you dancing to if me and you not dancing together? What and just gonna leave that there. Harmonious communication. Mm. Go T.
Yeah. Harmonious communication. Exactly. And I can get more into the communication thing too, but I'm gonna move on to the last one, then I'll come back to communication. The last key, which is actually, you know, very important, is maturity. Y'all have to be mature. Because if y'all not mature, that's where all of the petty stuff and the toxicity stuff come from, because you're not mature, you're childish. You know what I'm saying? You're not mature, you're not going to be able to communicate properly, because anything that your mate says is going to go in one ear and out the other, and you're just going to just do your own thing, and you just going to hear what you want to hear, and respond, and you know, and respond to defend and deflect, instead of responding to understand. You know, so you have to be mature. Y'all both have to be mature in order to, for that relationship or that marriage to actually work out. You know what I'm saying? It all takes maturity. It all takes maturity. You know what I'm saying? So when y'all started doing all, getting all this petty stuff, and people talking about, you know, oh, I'm petty, or you know, or I'm toxic or whatever, stuff like that. Yeah, you that way because you're immature. Toxicity and pettiness is immaturity. That's childish. Kids do that stuff because they don't know no better. They're not mature
Get
enough
out my
to
message.
handle stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I'm,
Kids do that. It's like kids do that because they're not mature enough. They're not mature enough to handle problems. So of course they're gonna get petty. They're gonna get toxic. And they're gonna, you know, do all this stuff because they're not mature enough. They're child. They're children. You know what I'm saying? And it's you know, it's accepted because they're kids. I mean, it's you know what I'm saying, we get it. But as adults, we need to be more mature enough to be able to handle stuff, to be able to communicate properly, to be able to compromise, to be able to sacrifice, to be able to respect. You know what I'm saying? So those right there, those 5 keys right there are the keys to a successful relationship and marriage. Because without those keys, I mean, it ain't gonna, that marriage or that relationship is not gonna last long. It will not last long at all. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why, you know, said the divorce rate is up so high. Relationships don't last. A lot of relationships don't last more than a week. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like you be having all these quick relationships and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's a reason why y'all can't find somebody good, because y'all really ain't looking. Y'all are not really looking for anybody good, because the thing about it is, a good person has all those 5 keys, and they put those 5 keys into good use. You, on the other hand, are not. So you're not even ready to even handle what a good man or a woman can bring to the table. You're not ready to handle it. So in
let's talk
reality, you're
about
not
it,
really looking for it.
okay. The first word came to my head with that one was thirsty. Even though we have that, we say that, no, I heard it from women saying, oh, he thirsty. Okay. But you haven't taken a time to evaluate men or women when you're saying those type of things, to actually see who you are, to why they're thirsty regarding you. Some reasons are all superficial in fantasy world. Some reasons are a person seeing you. And people a lot of times don't believe in, oh, I see you, or I see your heart. I can see you. I can see your kindness, your gentleness, your meekness, past all of this right here. But a lot of times we don't see those type of things because we don't respect ourselves, because we're thirsty for the wrong thing. We're thirsty for the wrong thing in a person. You're thirsty for whatever reasons you are, where it goes back to sitting down, and it goes back to number one. He said respect. When you deeply have genuine respect for yourself, you value you in the same way, in the essence. We how simple it is. If you was to go to Grandma Gigi and Nana and all them, you go to Granny house, Big Mama house. When you go to Big Mama house, you go in there a certain way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yourself need to be that same respectable manner that you give for them, the same way is given to yourself. They was giving you respect without telling you. They was showing you how to be respectable without saying something to you. You should have a certain essence of value of knowing who you are and standing in that truth. Valuing you. Good, bad, ugly, messy, whatever. Start valuing that and twisting certain toxicity about you. Start realizing how your mindset is regarding another person. Am I going over here with pure intentions, or am I going over here with Quianna intentions? That goes with that respect up there. See, when you really, really respect yourself, compromise comes easy. You're not in, as T like to say, why you always debating and arguing back and forth? When you doing this debate back and forth, it goes back to you not ready to compromise. So this is how 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 go together. When you're not ready to compromise, it shows that respect for self doesn't know how to do number 4, which is communication, which is listen. Shut up. Be quiet, be still. It's just that. Be your mouth. Be yourself. Be humble. Be uniquely different and stop doing the same norm. Oh, I'm petty. So let me tell you what you're saying. When you say I am petty, you are disempowering the uniqueness that's inside of you. You are disempowering the gift that's inside of you. You are the way of your being should actually be on a daily basis. Shining, illuminating, out here being productive, having a different mindset from the norm so that you can be renewed in your mindset, so that you can be having a pleasant aroma about you. Because your thinking is thinking. In order to do that, I need to disempower the way that I think and empower who I am. So you keep saying I am petty. I'm not going to be around you because I don't like petty people.
Yeah, me neither.
Because I don't know what your pettiness can lead to in a situation that needs to be productive, that needs to be adulting. He said maturity. Childish responses lead to tantrum mentality. And I just wrote that down. Childish responses lead to tantrum mentality because you can't handle the adulting for maturity. If it says when I was a child, I thought as a child, when I'm an adult, I do and act as an adult. That means your behavior changes. That's why, and understanding this goes with identity. Respect is going to show your integrity. Compromise is going to show your discipline. Sacrifice is going to show your humility. Communication is going to just show just that, your listening skills. Are you able to be quiet, be humble, and be still so that you can actually hear, not to respond, to hear, to understand? We got to start doing all of these things so that we can be in harmony with self. I say I'm a lyric on God's melody. The moment that I move, there's no harmony. I would rather be in obedience to what I'm supposed to do than be in disobedient. And now I'm out here acting like you. I'm retaining the ignorant mindset. And that's in the Bible. Proverbs 12. Go read it. Hello. Because it's ignorant and it's stupid not to do when you know to do, not to be when you know to be. It's real childish to go put on somebody else's superpower cape or costume when it's, if you are a sweet loving when they did this to me, I want to be like that. So you don't want to be how you're supposed to be, which is kind, loving. I'm gonna let the truck go by.
We can still hear
When
you.
you look at Okay, when you look at respect, compromise, sacrifice, communication, maturity, the first thing kind of mind is First Corinthians chapter 13. Read the whole thing. Because if you're not respecting self, my daughter just posted, if he's not respecting you as a boyfriend, basically, we're going to use your stuff. But she said something else, which was true. If a person is messy when you first met them, you can't change nobody. The only person you have dominant over is yourself and animals and things, not another person. That's why it don't work out, because you're trying to control somebody else when self-control is the fruit of the spirit. You can't control me, not because you can't control you, but I'm not to be controlled. I am to be loved. I am to be helped. I am to be taught. You see what I'm saying? We're
Hmm.
missing what we're here for each other for, because you want people, places, and things, which are materialistic stuff. Materialistic stuff separates you from maturity. The last one, you're separated from something which is supposed to help you evolve, but you can't evolve because you can't grasp maturity. Maturity still goes back to respect, compromise, sacrifice, communication. It shows your character with yourself. See, what happened that you came up with, as I call them, key steps to marriage, key step to marrying self,
Not necessarily marrying
Quianna
yourself.
Turner's keys. Oh, this is why I pulled out the key. This the house key, right?
Hmm.
Y'all know? Okay. If it says the temple is who? Me, right? Who got the key to the temple? Me. So, as of yesterday, what's in your garden? Respect. Is that in your garden? Oh, I got the notebook right here, baby. Y'all, so y'all ready for it? Let me tell y'all what was supposed to be in the garden. It's some things you're supposed to be having in that garden that's gonna elevate you, that's gonna stimulate you. Two of those things was respect and accountability. Respect and accountability. Are you able to hold yourself accountable for your actions? Discipline, self-control, patience, accountability, and responsibility are the key nutrients you need to have in your garden. So, do you respect yourself to go check on your garden and see what weeds are in there that ain't? Because whatever is in your garden, when the man come in the garden, he don't know what to expect. Most men only expect to come into your garden and receive what you actually was giving them when you would boo 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 and honey 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 and all sweet sweet sweet, when you was giving them some yummy yum. That's what they're expecting, that peace right there. that care right there, that love, that listening behavior, that grace right there. But when I go into the garden and I'm starting to feel the destruction, the tearing and the turmoil, and the ripping away of the weeds and the roots, that's what it looks like when we come in with a destructive behavior, instead of sitting down with ourselves and making sure that we're aligned with the things that's supposed to be in the garden that deal with us growing. What did I say? Self-control, discipline, patience, accountability, responsibility, all go. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are 5 things that go with the 5 things he just said. And we said those yesterday. That's how aligned it is. People out here that's out here for real, really wanting people to understand certain dynamics and certain factors in life and certain perspectives. All those 5 things go with respect, compromise, sacrifice, communication, maturity. Are you disciplining yourself from the behavior of when you was 12 and 14 and 24? I'm 48, so I didn't think like I was when I was 24. And I had 3 kids. Hold up, how about this? At 22, I had 3 kids back to back, okay? My mentality at 14 is different from the mentality right now. Okay, so with that, that leads to, as we evolve, which is grow, we're going to change our dynamic of our mindset. And we're changing our dynamic of our mindset. What attributes and characteristics are you taking into inside of you? What are you changing mentally, emotionally, that deals with how you control yourself and your responses? Are my responses still childish responses, or am I having a moment to sit down and receive what's being said to me so that I can respond in the maturity that I do possess? Because we all possess a maturity, but it's how we tap into that. And if we're going to allow ourselves to be Quianna in, or am I going to allow myself to be adulting and showing that I have integrity about myself and I know how to control myself. I don't have to be all flippity flap at the mouth. Where did he go? Why he leave me?
No, I ain't leave. I just put you on the spotlight now.
Oh, I ain't never had that done before.
Yeah,
That's what I'm like,
yeah.
well,
Because you was talking, so I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and just put you on the spotlight. So when I come in,
I'm
then I'll put it back.
okay. I've never had it, but I like your 5 things, and your 5 things go with my 5 things, and that shows alignment, and that goes with my 5 A's to self-actualization. You got to look at yourself. You do, and stop wanting other people to accept you when you don't accept all of you. Good, bad, messy, ratchet, thugged out. You know, I'm a little soft here and I'm a little feminine here. It don't even matter. Do you accept? That's first. Accept you. Second is to allow those feelings that's going to be all over the place in your mind and within yourself about you. You're going to see yourself in all these different woo. Have you a glass of wine with it. Allow. Then you gonna adjust. Cause just know, right after you allow yourself and love yourself and care for yourself and go up and down, roller coaster cry, I'm like that. Ooh, dang, I be doing that. Laugh at you. Maya Angelou said, laugh at everything. Why? Because everything is temporary. Laugh. Laughter is good for the soul because it opens up the eyes so that you can see deeper and make wise decisions. So adjust and laugh. Because after you get done doing that, you're going to do this agreement. And self is going to have a conversation with self, so self and self can see where self is at, so that self can do this thing called alignment. See what happened? See how he quickly came right back in?
Oh no,
Alignment leads to
yeah, I just
of of you and somebody else being able to be in alignment. But don't be doing stuff. This is go into my T mode again. Y'all ain't ready for this one. Don't be doing stuff and you ain't ready to stand on that. Because a real king, a real man, I ain't saying how my daughter be saying, my man, my man, my man, my man. That one right there, baby, he gonna make you hold up and own up to what you said. Own your truth. Stand on that. Because of the fact he looking at the accountability with you, he looking he looking at your character. He right. Okay, we back. We good?
Yeah, we kind of lost you
Okay.
for a little bit. You
It's
good?
always on the Wednesday. Everybody want to call between 9 and 10. Any other day, y'all don't call between 9 and 10 on the Wednesday. But we have to do the thing, which is stand on your own truth. What does that look like? If you know who you are and you say that, look at the areas of you. Are you kind to yourself? Do you give yourself grace? Are you patient with you? Do you check you like you check everybody else? Like you want to run around here and check that man like he your child, and you don't treat him as a best friend, as a partner. You say you want a partner. Have y'all ever played sports? Some women and some men haven't played sports, so you don't know what it looks like to be a team player. Ain't no I in team. It's a me in there. That's what y'all want to look at that. But it's still other letters. So it's still other players. You got to learn how to be a team player and not just I and me and us and we don't get along, which is you and yourself don't, because you don't like yourself in some areas. That's fine. Fix it, adjust it, finesse it. Men and women. We got men saying, oh, she's too masculine. We got women saying, oh, he's too feminine. First of all, everybody got a yin and a yang. It's how I sauced it up is the reason you like it. But when you don't stand on your own truth, it allows the accountability and respect about you to look like you ain't willing to compromise. You're not going to make sacrifices. And T's biggest thing, he know that you're not going to be able to listen. T, what did you say the other day when I said I went live right after you? I saw your post. What was that post about again? Because it was about something about standing on your own truth and owning up to that. I just like your own words about it, not mine.
Well, I mean that post was a general post. It was mainly about if you're gonna be about something, then you need to stand on business about it and walk fully in it. Uh, don't try to get people to like follow or walk in something. It don't make this what it is. It don't necessarily have to be a religion. It don't have to be like it can just be anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially with everything you was just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, even with relationships, if you like, let's say this, like, if I tell you, let's say me and you was dating, and I tell you, oh yeah, I'm a good dude, I'm loyal, I'm honest, I'm respectful, all this other stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I could just be saying that just to sell you a dream. You know what I'm saying? And then, but my actions will speak differently because I'm not really walking fully into that. How can you try to get somebody else to walk fully into something and believe something if you're not truly walking in it? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are truly an honest, loyal, trustworthy person, then what I'm saying, then it's what I'm saying, it's cool for you to go ahead and do it because you actually are walking in that fully. But if you really not, and you're just trying to be like, oh well, what I'm saying, like you got to be truthful. Like you're like, saying, like you get a lot of these people come on podcasts or interviews and blah, yeah, you gotta be what I'm saying, a good loyal person and you gotta be this and you gotta be that. But Are you that? You know what I'm saying?
Ooh,
Not something not just walking in something that fits your agenda, your personal agenda. You have to be walking in that fully, whether you agree with it fully or not. You know what I'm saying? So don't sit up here and be a half genuine person or half stepping it, but then trying to preach to other people, you know what I'm saying, about being genuine in something, and you're not even genuine in it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
because it makes you look like a big hypocrite, plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? And people are not going to listen to no hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna be out here preaching about something, like I said, it could be anything. It don't have to be a specific thing. If you're gonna be out here preaching something, then you need to be living in it truly. You need to actually be a walking proof of what it is that you're preaching. And you need to be into that fully, not half stepping it. Because then that will make you a hypocrite. And people, you know what I'm saying, when people find that out, they're not going to listen to you because you're not trustworthy. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with being in a we're gonna go back to the relationship. Man and woman. You know, the man is supposed to be the head of the household. He's the leader, he's the provider, he's the protector, he's the teacher, the educator. Okay, you want your woman to submit, and that's what she's supposed to do, right? But a woman is not going to submit to a man who truly doesn't understand how to be a man and actually know how to lead, how to educate, how to provide, how to protect. You know what I'm saying? If he doesn't know how to do any of that stuff, she's not going to submit to you. If you don't know how to lead properly, she's not going to follow you. You know what I'm saying? And she's going to call you out on it because you're not doing it right. If you're going to say that I'm a man, I'm a leader, then you need to actually show that leadership skills. If you're not showing those leadership skills, meaning you're not walking in that leadership role, full hand, and you're and not being a walking proof of it, she's not going to submit to you. She ain't going to follow you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are clearly not a leader. Plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So don't be sitting there selling your woman these dreams that, that you a leader and you a provider and you a protector, when in reality you're really not. You can't be half stepping there. You have to actually be a fully into this fully if you're gonna sit up here and try to preach that, to get your woman to submit like she's supposed to and follow you. So that's basically what my post was mainly about. You know what I'm saying? About being genuine. If you're gonna talk the talk, you need to walk the walk fully. Plain and simple. Don't be out here trying to talk the talk and you ain't even walking it.
Facts. You see, I messed up my camera by accident. Hold on. We're gonna turn my camera back around, but you can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can still hear you.
Okay. I like you said all of that. All of that. All of that. Where my camera go? Come on, video. I need to leave stuff alone. Where'd it go? Am I back on there? It still ain't. It still ain't did it. Did I just do it? No. Okay, well, we can look at the flowers. We can do that for a minute. Yeah, I
Yeah,
bet you look at
you
the
on your
flowers.
phone?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it should be something at the bottom where it have like some arrows going either way, whatever, and you can it should be like in
Right.
a circle or something, and you should be able to switch your camera back around.
I think I got it. Yay,
Yep,
there it
there you
goes.
go.
There it goes. Okay. You guys, he just said a whole mouthful of something. If y'all weren't paying attention, he didn't say anything really about a woman. But I am. I really am. And that's, I'm not mad at anybody about anything. It's just the damage control that's done mentally to men where Above all else, a man will guard his heart like, well, we as women don't. We do that really fast. Not like that. We'll open it back up. Oh, hey, whatever. Because this is how the makeup of us are. Some of us. But the sad part of it is that when you do get somebody, see, this is where the opposite of stuff is. You do get that person that actually does listen, that actually is about building, respecting you wholeheartedly, right? Opening doors up for you. You ain't touched the doorknob ever since you met the man. He's sitting up there, financially got y'all on a great startup where y'all is starting to build, for generational wealth. You're sitting up there, you're having those emotional, tough conversations that you want to have. You're being there for each other mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. Why in all of God's green earth do you not value those simple little things like that and knock that man's crown off of him because you say he too sensitive? There ain't nobody on this earth that is too sensitive. I got feelings and you do too. As long as I got a pulse, I'm gonna be that sensitive because I'm a person. You see what I'm saying? We have put too much emphasis on things that need to be let go of so that we can be. You can't be when you sit up there disempowering things about yourself and about the person. If he is in tune, harmonious communication with himself, baby, give me a whole cookbook, give me some bubbles, give me some candles. I'm gonna, baby, he about to be yummied up. I'm telling you, because he's in tune with himself, meaning that me and him can align ourselves and we can dance as one. You got to learn how to dance with him. You got to learn how to let him, if he leave with both of his feet, baby, rock to the side, baby, rock to the other. Come on, let's rock backwards. Learn how to just say, hey, let's rock. And then when he learn how to square dance with you in place, and then y'all can two-step and get a little, hey, and y'all got y'all own in sync. Let me tell you something. Go watch them people who dance at them little things, the parties they be having, and they be two-stepping with each other. You know why they dance like that? They in sync. Well, he can spin her, bring her back, and she can whatever and come back and all that stuff. Yeah, in sync. Because when you in sync, you can get on a dance floor, you and your mate, and y'all can whatever and cut up a whole rug like they be saying. And it wasn't scripted because you were in harmony. You can tear down the infrastructure that's already built and planned and purposely drivenly already there by coming in here with a sound that don't sound like what's already planned. We got to get in tune with self before going and I want to be with somebody. That's fine that you want to be with somebody, but before going to be with somebody, have you taken a real look at yourself and see how you love and how you care and how you operate in areas that deal with tantrums? Everybody have one. We all human. I'm a little spoiled. That's that honesty right there. Because I'm going to go with that. Honesty is supreme to your identity. If you not sold out, honest to yourself, I know you're not about to be honest with me in a relationship. If you not sold out, honest with me now, like my daughter said, I'm going to go, I shared the post, T. I think it went through. I don't know. I'm going to go back and make sure you get it too. But she said it perfectly this morning. If you like this in the relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, you're going to be like that when we get married.
It's going to be worse.
Exactly. She 26. Out the 26-year-old mouth this morning, if you doing XYZ right now, and we okay, let's go get married, and we gonna go get married, like T said, it's gonna be worse because they have made themselves comfortable in how they are, which is fine. This is what we gotta learn. That's fine. But you've made yourself comfortable being how you are in a relationship with me, knowing that this isn't what I like. This isn't how I want to see things for us to go in the future. And it makes it where now we're in this, and it was a whole hot mess, and I missed it because you camouflage yourself being a pretender, running around here on this little strings of stereotype of puppetry. Oh, we're supposed to get married. Just because we supposed to don't mean me and you are. I ain't marrying no fool. If you playing now in the relationship, yummy with other people, that means you gonna continue yummy and sneaking the yummy with other people. Now we got to get a divorce. Now I got to mentally go through some stuff because I'm over here looking like, why? Just why? I'm pissed when something. I be pissed in that area. Now I'm a flash. I'm just why? Because you already knew that this is what you wanted to do and this is what you're not gonna do. So why play with somebody? If people out here, people really lose their life like that. See, have you experienced anybody to that extreme? You know, where it is where somebody either lost their life or happened to take somebody else's because of dysfunctional people being destructive in relationships.
No,
I
I
said
haven't. I
it.
haven't witnessed any of that stuff. I haven't witnessed it. Hopefully, I don't ever witness anything like that. But I mean, I've heard stuff on the news about it. You know what I'm saying? When people have done stuff like that, went to extremes like that. Oh, you know what? I take that back. Um, my cousin, he took his own life over a relationship with a woman. Um, I don't really know the exact details of what happened between them and for the reason why he did it, but the only thing I know is he did it because of his relationship with um his girlfriend at the time. And that's as far as like anything like that, that's the only thing that I experienced that as far as like that hit home. Um, but as far as anything else, like no, it's just stuff that I've heard on the news, heard and saw on the news of people, in and taking their lives or taking their significant other or spouse's lives because of problems they was having. So, what I'm saying?
My
Yeah,
condolences. My
yeah.
condolences. Um, I witnessed a lot of nonsense, like extra nonsense. I remember an experience where me and my son, we was in the house, and next thing you know, cause it's a two-family home, and whatever was going on, you can hear upstairs them just extra loud, right? So when you live in Cleveland, you always be alert. This is like you over the ATL. You just got a different alertness, and you
Hmm.
just paying attention. So it ended up where you could hear them like in the stairway, like somebody's trying to leave. Next thing you know, it was so loud outside to where my son happened to decided to come out his room and take his little superhero self and go play rescue. And the moment I'm hearing that back door open, the moment, oh no, let mama go. Mama bear gotta go outside. Y'all ain't about to take my son. Because anything can happen. The guy literally had this girl, and she's so little, pretty much almost in the garbage can. Literally, almost like had her up like this, trying to put her in the garbage can. And that's why I said dysfunctional people are, you got to pay attention. It's like we have to really look at characteristics of a person. You have to see a person. The good stuff that we want out of relationships is to where, that's why I got on here thirsty. What are you really thirsty for? And when you say, it's like, what are you thirsty for in a relationship? What are you wanting in a relationship? Now scratch that and leave that on that side of the paper. What do you see in a person that you would desire? How would you want that person to talk to you when it's a bad day? How are you going to respond when you're having an off day? What do you do when, you done had a tiring day from work Do you take 5, 10, 20 minutes before you come to the house so you can have a positive communication? You know, where they was like, oh, leave work at home and, you know, leave home at home. A lot of time that cliche can't just happen like that. Because I might need to go home and talk to Babe about you pissing me off, and he know how I am. I just got to keep it 100. You didn't said something that's about to have me. God, no, I need my job. And I ain't trying to go home on Babe. So you
Yeah,
might need to make a
I've had
text
those too
message
many
to him,
times.
communication, and tell him, hey, Babe, XYZ getting on my nerve. So because he knows how to come and post something in your cup and make it saucy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be in harmony with your significant other. Because your significant other gotta know you like best friend. Just like you gotta know you. You are your best friend. That cliche, oh, you your worst enemy. Baby, I ain't my worst enemy. You my worst enemy by telling me that. I am my best friend. And me and my best friend sometimes don't like each other because it's fine. And Kiki be over here doing extra stuff. You gotta know you like that, baby. Because when you in
Mhm.
harmony with you, it makes you. I'm so proud of you. You didn't snap today. Hey, high five. You know, you gotta start celebrating you in areas where you're maturing. Because that childish behavior will have you way over there. And then when your man looking at you like, well, you don't want me to talk to you like that, but why you acting like that? When we were a child, we thought like a child. If you want to upgrade, like we got to upgrade StreamYard, we got to upgrade this, and we got to upgrade the subscription, and upgrade Hulu. Upgrade yourself. It's free. T, take that. Upgrade yourself. It's free. What would that look like, T, if you seen a woman who you know was all these other little things that's on your 5 things? It was the opposite of that, right? And you seen her 2 years later. Let's say 6 months later. You went back into the same area. You happen to seen her, and everything about her, something was different without her opening her mouth. That's how you know when somebody has actually did this, what I call identity check. That's where you went and checked your thermostat, meaning, baby, I can come in your presence, which is the room of you, around you, and your temperature about you gonna be pleasant, like that 70, 72, 73. You know that how it's pleasant in the house. That's how it's gonna feel.
Mhm.
But to a man, that feeling don't mean nothing. He visual. What are you? What are we? What are you? What do most men, not little boys, not little chicken heads, not no. Ooh, I want it. And yeah, me. Ooh, not one of those. Are you sitting up there looking at him and he talk like a handsome and ooh, girl? Every time I see that man, wow, I keep it 100. That's how some of us be. They just don't want to admit it. But when you not like that, how do you see infrastructure in a woman? How do you know? You see how I smile with that? It's like that's a different type of sauce, you guys, when a man can see you as whatever he about to tell us, and you don't even know you there. I
See,
got the voice.
my thing is how I can tell change in a woman is just like you said about how she talks. Um, it just her the aura around her is different. You know what I'm saying? She'll carry herself a different way than she used to. Um, and then when we actually have a conversation, you can tell in the intellect of the conversation that she's a totally different person. That she has upgraded. She actually has better herself as a person and as a woman, and she knows better. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah,
it's my thing is I mainly tell by the aura. You know what I'm saying? By the aura that a person gives off. You know what I'm saying? And the aura that a woman gives off is very strong. You know, and it shows in her character. It shows in how she presents herself. It shows in, you know what I'm saying, the words that she uses, and how she communicates. That shows what her character, her true character is. And from a woman that was, you know, pretty ratchet, as if you want to call it, and all of a sudden now she's, you know, a very respectable woman, it will show basically in the aura, because the way how she was acting back then compared to how she's acting now is totally different. She don't let too, she don't really let too much stuff get to her anymore, like it used to. Like she doesn't react as quick, you know, and basically toxic as she used to, you know, when problems arise. She actually knows how to handle it, and she come up
Mm.
with some good solutions on how to handle problems. And she's actually, you know, well behaved now. It's a like she's not like she used to be. So that's kind of how I can tell. And I already have one person that I know that changed her whole demeanor, and she's very she's gotten very better than she used to be. Um, you know, we both grew. We both, you know, it changed our personas, and we both grew um a lot better than we were when we was younger. Okay, and that's my ex-wife, Shakitha. Not to be putting her name out there like that, but hey, you know, she she has grown into a better woman than she was back when we was married. Um, and I have grown into a better man back then when we was married. We both was pretty lost and just uneducated, and you know, on life and marriage and stuff like that, and relationships. And we both got a better grasp on how this thing's supposed to work, because you know it took us years to gradually understand relationships and marriage is a lot better. Even though the dating pool now is worse than it was then, but um when you actually grow and you actually start understanding, um having a more understanding of life and relationships, you will get educated, you'll be educated more, you'll be more smarter now. You know, you'll be, you know what I'm saying, more understanding. You know, your eyes will be a little bit more open. So you would end up changing your demeanor on how you go about life and relationships because of the experience and doing a lot of self-reflection. And a lot of people really do need to do a lot of self-reflection, because self-reflection will give you that um answer. You know what I'm saying? It will give you that way to study yourself and understand how you really are. You know what I'm saying? Because you probably was blinded back then because you thought the way how you was good. But then once you finally get that, give yourself that time to do some hardcore self-reflection and look back on the stuff that you do, and you get better as a person, you will start to understand that the person you were then was terrible. You know what I'm saying? And you do need to change who you are if you want to succeed better in life. You know what I'm saying? And in relationships, you're gonna have to change the way you are. You understand more why you need to change. So that's pretty much my whole thing on how I can tell if, you know, if a woman has changed or not, you know. So
I like that. I like that because you know I take notes. See, I told people better get your coffee with my frozen coffee, get your pen, get your notebook. Right. A lot of times I feel like people just are looking at, oh, they're just talking from their own experience and stuff like that, which is true. But sometimes people are not. I'm just looking around, and I live in Oregon, and I've been in a lot of little places, right? It's sad because we have an era of men who literally don't want to waste any energy or time going the route of a relationship with the woman, even if you are a great good woman, because of, oh, I tried it once, I tried it again, it didn't fail, okay, it's done, it's over with, I ain't doing that no more. Which leads to, you have a group of women who are respectful, compromisable, sacrificing, communication, maturity. You know what I'm saying? Where
Hmm.
you can see them go, oh, I can have this conversation with you, and we're having a conversation. I can get a little aggressive, but I'm like, oh, my bad. You know, where I bring it back down and still being able to give off that aurora of a pleasant, fragrant scent about myself, to where my presence and what I'm saying, you hear me, right? So it's like, even if I do, this is me as a woman talking to you about it. So even if I do, as a woman, do this, the nutshell of it is, do it for you. Do it for nobody. I'm not saying, I don't know about T, but I'm saying, when you do it for you, it makes that little pinch of knowing what's going on out here in our world, seeing what's going on. It makes that pinch just temporary, because you're valuing yourself. I can stand on, yeah, I'm single. I can stand on, not that I want to stay single, but I'm going to stand on the truth of the matter of it is, I don't want you to play with me. I don't want you to damage what I built up, which is the healing part of me. I worked on that. I like touching little flowers, and I want to go touch the trees. I like. So you gotta laugh at you in areas where somebody else finds out. Like, you want to do what? Touch the trees. It's nature. Nature brings a certain essence to me that makes me smile. So that's what I like. You have to learn not to respond to immature people, because their energy will be trying to drain you, because they lack maturity, they lack understanding, they lack knowledge, they lack wanting to know, they lack the thing which I just wrote down. Challenge self to grow from it. You don't want to know more? You don't want to go deeper? You know why some people scared to go swimming? Because you can't swim in the water. That swim. You cannot learn if you don't want to go deep. You won't know how to float out there in the water, where it feel like you in the water walking on water, because you don't want to go learn how to have your body that limp, have your body being able to maneuver in the water, because I can't touch the bottom if I'm in the water. I can go swim with some sharks, but you don't think that high and deep. High meaning I can go sit and mount myself up like an eagle, so that I can be renewed in my right spirit. What does that look like? Well, I know they said this about me, but hey, T, you think that's true? T, I don't know. You got to see yourself for who you are. Bam! Wake up call. That ought to wake you up. When somebody lets you know, go see yourself for who you are. Well, how do I do that? Shh. You gotta be quiet. And you gotta start being still. You're gonna have to go start sitting alone. The one thing you fearing right now, which you don't even have a spirit of fear, it's an excuse. Oh, I gotta be by myself. Yeah. Why not? Because you must don't like yourself too much. You must love yourself sometimes. You must like this about you and don't like this about you. I love all of me. The hood, the ghetto, the holy, the not, the whatever. The one that don't want to compromise sometimes. Hello? The one that want to communicate. But Miss Talk a Lot got her own show, so I don't even care about nothing about that. Hey. The one that knows that sometimes I might have a childish response and then have to come back and be an adult from that response. That's what it looked like when you're being trustworthy. I can trust he gonna be silly and say something to me, but she gonna come back and let me know. Oh, I just play it. I just having a moment, you know. But and if we don't sit up there and be respectful of ourselves enough to know who you are plays the biggest part in trying to get to the infrastructure where your speech is different. Something, everything about you look different. Your presence and everything about you feels different being around you. To where when you start opening your mouth up, we can have a real intellectual. Let me tell y'all what intellectual conversation looks like. I ain't gonna tell you. T, an intellectual conversation is not a debate. Is that right?
It depends on the situation, but not wholeheartedly.
It's not arguing.
Yeah, arguing is definitely not in the it's definitely not an intellectual conversation when you arguing because y'all both are not in y'all right minds. Y'all in your emotions right now. So the fact that you in your emotions, you can't think straight. So if you can't think straight, the words that you use will not be intelligent at all because you're just trying to get a point out ain't that isn't relevant to what it is the problem is or what it is y'all talking about. It's not relevant. Y'all just basically be doing a bunch of low blows to just try to, piss the other person off. So it won't be intelligent at all when you're in your feelings and you're arguing.
I saw that on the Big Three Man podcast, right? Big Three Man Talk podcast had a video up. And that video, okay, the one that I just recently liked, it was dealing with finance, financial conversation, right? I just realized that a woman, that the women that was on there, financial conversation deals with things. It don't deal with building. It deal with he need to have this and he need to make this and he need to look like this, and so it looks like your makeup bag. I told you I had you think makeup that they put, matter of fact, here. It looked just like this. Okay, this is my little lippy gloss, my little sparkles, right? So when you are thinking finances and you're not thinking inheritance, investment, building, you're thinking about what he possesses, not finances. Financial understanding is mandatory because you're not understanding if we are together financially together, we either going to build and create generational wealth. We're gonna be doing investments. We're gonna be sitting over there trying to own this and own this piece of land and own that, where we're going to be trying to own some things. Not having some makeup, and I want to go make up what I want finances to actually look like in our relationship. But he need to make six figures. You don't even make six figures. Why would you want him to make six figures? Baby, if he makes six figures, his time is of the essence right now. Know what six figures looks like on a monthly basis? That part. That means he's intellectually busy. His emotions is tied up somewhere in a little bit of something because he don't have time to have his feelings on the table. He has time to continue to invest. He has time to continue to make conscious decisions for our family to can be able to financially continue to maintain stability in our home. Correct or not?
Correct. Because
Okay.
we are the stability. We are the stability. We build the stability. We bring the stability. You know what I'm saying? That's basically part of a man's job is to bring stability to to build it and bring it. You know what I'm saying? So and then the woman maintains it. You know what I'm saying? And adds to
Oh,
it. She maintains it and adds to it.
got to say this, T. You know, I told you I had that shirt. See all the little stuff with the kid. Okay, so that shirt that I have that says "Know Your Worth" and then add tax. You must don't know your worth really good because you don't know how to add tax to you and him. You must don't value you or him to the level that you need to add. Being in a relationship with somebody else is about y'all multiplying. Adding and multiplying go together. They go together. So if I value me to that level, knowing what I desire, I have to make a conscious decision as a woman. Do I continue to have little girl mentality, or do I put my crown on my head, put my bigger pennies on, rise up to the platform that I say I want? You gotta quit saying stuff that y'all want and then don't, and then get there and be like, I'm here. You sound like a big kid that don't even know that you got a big old lollipop and a big old surprise, and he the prize, and you the prize, and you don't know how to be the celebration and let him be the party. And you go in there and celebration time, come on, let's go, babe. And he gonna keep pulling out stuff out of him and keep pulling out stuff out of him because you don't know how to be the celebration of him. A man automatically celebrates a woman. It's in their DNA. We do not do that as women. We be thinking it's about me. No, it's about us. Us. When you lay down and get yummy, you ain't getting yummy by yourself. He right there, and you ooh, and he right there getting ew. Then you get mad because he don't do something that you like. So your mama and daddy didn't do something that you liked, and you didn't sit up there act no fool with them like that. Why you doing him like that? Because you
But they
selfish
probably
and you
did.
cowardice.
They probably did when they don't get their way. And you know how it is when kids don't get their way. You know what kids do when they don't get their way. They pout, they moan, they what I'm saying, they're argumentative and distant and stuff like that when they don't get their way. I mean, I'm sorry, but a lot of women are the same way. You know what I'm saying? They don't get their way. They pout, they moan, and groan, and distant and argumentative and stuff like that. So it's that's what it is. Like they probably did when their parents didn't can give them what they want. They was the same way with their parents, so they gonna be the same way with their significant other. That's how those people are. Like if you're used to not getting your way, what I'm saying, which we all should be used to that because life ain't gonna give you everything you want. You know what I'm saying? It's not about what you want. You know what I'm saying? So people who is used to that, they're not going to be argumentative like that. They're not going to bitch and complain. They're not going to pout. They're not going to be argumentative. They're gonna understand and just take the L and keep moving, or at least try to find other ways. You know what I'm saying, to compromise and sacrifice with their significant other, so y'all both can get what y'all want and need. If that makes any
Mm.
sense. If that makes
Oh,
any
baby,
sense.
that made perfect sense. Like he said it, we all look at how harmonious communication. Hey, if we are actually really dancing, see, when you put two people together like that, it looks like one. Really, it's a little kiss. It's a kiss. Hershey kisses. They got a little twist to it, right? Look just like it when you do your finger like that. But it's the chocolate inside and the wrapper, which makes it one. You don't want a Hershey's Kiss that's not in the little wrapper, the little silver wrapper with the little piece of paper saying kisses coming out. You want the whole kiss, right? So we need to learn how to be a whole person, honest. Take away the W. You got HOLE. When you go get wisdom, now put the W back. WHOLE. We're lacking the wisdom that we need to, one, listen. You're saying you're wanting things, but why are you wanting things when yourself ain't wise enough to know how to, what did he say? Handle. I got it on my paper. Handle. Wisdom comes with maturity. Wisdom comes with maturity. We want so many different things that we missing the very thing that needs to be checked. Check yourself. I heard this one man was like, "You out of pocket, baby." That hurt. That right there had my whole mind frame just because I instantly was like, "And you say to me, who are you talking to like that?" And you got to understand, being an '80s kid, certain words men still has value, and if you it'll change your whole life. When that man said that to me, I didn't say that out loud. Like, who you talking? I just looked like, and it was like one of them OG type things because I ain't heard that since I was a kid. When somebody was telling that to one of his women, like, your mouth out of pocket, you better sit down. Explain, T. Come on, King, and explain to us women, what does that really mean when a man is thinking it and says it, you out of pocket. And it's not about somebody saying it to you as, oh, you my child. That is not what that is about. It is not. If you ain't never heard it, go find you an OG. But T about to break that down to us. What does that mean when we have a man tell us as a woman, you out of pocket?
I mean, the only thing I could really say about it is if I say a woman's out of pocket, which means she's out of her character as a woman. You know what I'm saying? And it goes, like I said, it goes back to the character thing, and it goes back to communication.
Uh,
Um, I did say I was supposed to went back to the communication thing. So I'm gonna kind of touch back onto it when I say about communication. Because it kind of ties all into it. We both need to understand how to communicate with each other. We need to know how to talk to each other. So if me and my woman is having a conversation, and it could be a debate about something, or it could just be just a normal casual conversation,
right.
and she starts, going to taking it to a different level because she starts to get in her feelings or whatever. Um, it's that's basically being out of pocket, because the whole point is now you're starting to talk to me disrespectfully. You're not respecting me anymore. You lost all respect for me as being a man, because now you're talking to me, like I'm just some doucheball that you don't know or something. And like, no, like you're gonna have to come back down. Cause you need to bring it down a notch, because you getting out you getting out of pocket. You getting out of sync. We having a regular conversation, and now that now that you don't agree with some of the stuff that I'm saying, now you want to sit up here and basically start disrespecting me by saying some off the wall stuff to me because you and your feelings. The thing about it is, the thing about it is, the way for a woman to talk to a man, she has to understand the man. She has to understand well, excuse me, the male language. Male language is logic and reasoning and realness.
Facts. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? We're not going to sit up here and sugarcoat a lot of stuff. We're not going to sit up here and speak from our feelings. You know what I'm saying? We speaking on a more logical stand base and what's real. So a woman needs to understand that. She needs to understand that from a man's perspective on, on whatever it is y'all talking about. Like, he's coming from realness and realness and logic. You know what I'm saying? So when a woman starts getting into, oh, I feel, or stuff like that, that's fine, but you need to have some kind of realness and logic behind that. You know what I'm saying? So the man can totally understand where you're coming from. And from the man talking to a woman, he needs to understand emotions and feelings, because that's mainly from a woman's standpoint and base. She based her opinions and her statements off of feelings and emotions. So a man will have to,
Those women do. I done told you, dumb women do. Quianna don't. So
you know what I'm
those
saying?
who do that,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of women do. And because there are men, because there actually are men that kind of base their stuff off feelings too. So there are men that's like that too. But like mostly, you know what I'm saying, men base their statements and opinions and stuff off of, you know what I'm saying, logic and reasoning. And women
closet,
mostly base it off of feelings and emotions. Um, but we both need to be able to understand each other on our level in order to be able to communicate on the same level and understand exactly what it is, you know, we're trying to say, instead of, you
mm-hmm.
know, instead of reacting, instead of responding to react. You know what I'm saying? You'll be
That's what you
responding to
said.
understand instead of responding to react. Because when you respond to react, you're basically going off of how you feel. And like I said, men do it. There are a lot of men that do it too. You know what I'm saying? They start getting in their feelings, and then when they start reacting to, you know, they just responding to reacting and not understanding, you know what I'm saying, the person who they're talking to. They're not understanding them, or they don't care. All they care about is trying to defend and deflect what it is the other person is saying to back on them to make it look like they're the problem, like they're, you know, wrong or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Instead of understanding where that person is coming from and responding to understand, basically, you know, responding in a more proper manner, by understanding where that person is coming from. And you know, so a lot of debates and stuff tend to get um physical and or just, you know, turn into an argument because, you know, people disagree and they take their disagreements a little too personal. You know what I'm saying? When you're having a debate against somebody, it's nothing personal. Nothing is personal, and it should never be taken personally. You know what I'm saying? Listen to what I'm saying, listen to my view, and understand where I'm coming from. You know, you don't have to agree because I mean, in a debate, if you agree, if everybody agrees, it ain't much of a debate at that point. But just because you don't agree does not mean you should disrespect somebody, you know, or make it look like somebody don't know what they talking about or they're wrong or something like that, you know, and then turn into a whole argument, which could lead to a physical altercation. You know, just, you know what I'm saying? You can still disagree, but as long as you understand where that person's coming from, you know, and understand why they feel, feel the way they feel on the subject, and, you know, and the reasoning behind it, then it will make the debate go a lot more smoother. Same thing with, you know, with conversating with a woman, you know, when a man and woman conversating, it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? As long as you understand where they're coming from, it will make the communication a lot better. So that's my thing.
I like that. So, cause I done named it argumentable debate, and that comes from you already are set up in your mind to debate with him. That's A.
Mm-hmm.
So you're already in disagreement mode. This is mental play because you're not even really in those feelings. You're just set up from a stereotype. A lot of things are where we do have to deprogram our mindset from the stereotype of the norm of how things supposed to be. You can't do that with men. Men ain't even really that stereotype. They're just visual. They see some yum. Let the oh, you know that every man don't go chase it. You see it just like I do. Don't act like you don't see bruh with the ripped chest and you sitting up there knowing. Oh, we all do it. Women don't a lot of times. To me, I feel like you don't want to be honest. You don't not want to be honest about nothing. But you want to sit up there and go, oh, I want the good brother. That's called entrapment and entanglement. He didn't even agree to the fact of being entangled in your mindset with yourself and yourself. And then when he get with you, you're sitting up there and you're like, well, he not doing nothing with me. What you want to do? He ain't a puppy. He's not a puppy. And then you sitting up there wonder why he don't want to go walk with you because he ain't a puppy. Then you sitting up there wonder why, oh, he don't do this with me. He don't go this with me. Because you never put him in your space. Before we got on the show, I shared myself with T. And I was Mrs. Smiling like a big kid. And he just looking at me, just a smile. Where I'm sitting at has a little waterfall stream around it. And I was like, T, look, you know, you're not being a kid to want a friend. You're being a woman and expecting a puppy. I don't want a puppy. I want a friend. You gotta know what you want. Even though that's your man, do you want a friend or do you want a puppy? You want somebody that's gonna follow you like a that ain't about to happen. Logic and reason don't say that. Logic and reason say infrastructure. Logic and reason say steps. Them steps are where he's looking at. So these are the same things we should be looking at, and for when you're looking for, you know, that person to be in your life, just as a friend. If you want the man to be your best friend, what are you bringing? What's in your garden? Does your garden smell like sweet smelling roses, or do it smell like ooh 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 ooh? Just say it.
Smell like boo boo boo.
Dude, you gotta see, do you over there do and are you over here like symphony playing when you walking in, or is it walking in and you got Outcast in the back and Andre 3000 going on, and you over here like, do I go hide on top of the roof? Do you need a minute? Do I need to come back? Because all that stank attitude, walking around slamming doors and acting like I ain't in the mood today, you is selfish. And I ain't even sugarcoating you, selfish. Because of the fact that you will not humble yourself to challenge yourself to grow from stereotypes, what negative Nancy and them said to you, negative Norman said to you, to grow from the cultural mindsets of other people that think this is what's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to go. You are the power, and I got the pen. So you possess the power to write your own story and live your life and be you how you want to be in a positive, productive, purposeful, driven life, though. Something different. I think T or one of the men said it on the Big Three Man podcast, where that person said, what's wrong with you learning it a different way? That hit hard. It might have been right. I don't know. But I do know is when the person said something.
I think that was me. I think that was me who said that. 'Cause I think I do remember what you're talking about. I think that was me who said that.
And I really took that to heart, not just from man and woman, but from when you at work and the boss man trying to show you a little simple 1, 2, 3 way from, you know, from what the instructions say do, so we can keep the flow of the job. Hello. In order to keep the flow of a job going, we learn new ways to do things past what the manuals say of XYZ, so that we can keep the job flowing. How about this? T, you know several different ways to, you know, when you got to put your little gun thing together and all that stuff, right? Isn't
Mm-hmm.
there more than one way to actually put it together?
Um, I don't know. I mean, it depends. I guess it depends on, you know, the weapon. The most weapons that I'll put together is put together the same way. It's not really anything different about it. But I
That's
guess it
the
just
only
depends on the
thing.
weapon.
Yep. It's the only thing. It's only several things on earth that you got to put together. Screw it in this way, unscrew it that way. See what I'm saying? But as a person, we have the ability to do something different. Okay, I can drink this with my right hand. I can drink it with my left hand. I can put the backpack on this way, or I can put the backpack on this way. It doesn't make it right and it doesn't make it wrong. What it makes it is different. And until you can sit down in your own difference about yourself, you will never fully accept another person in your life like that to sit with you and receive their difference just like they accept your difference. It's about acceptance and receiving. That word is called reciprocation. Give and take. Until you can stop being that selfish childishly. Gimme, 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 gimme. It's beyond just narcissist. Gimme, 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 gimme. We got to get past that. I want you. It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. I sound like a big kid, right? That's what your heart and your mind and everything about you is giving off. That you have not matured into the position that you're wanting, that you're desiring. You can do that by committing all of your ways, mind, heart, body, and soul, into God. And He can give you and show you what your heart desire really is. But you don't know how to go be still for that to even happen. You won't go do like Kendrick Lamar says, be humble, sit down, shut up. We don't know how to do that because we think that that's rude and that's ugly. But let the dude who got 6, 7 figures come over there. Girl, you better sit down and shut up. You're going to do that because you want that money. You got to want something more than money. You got to want something more than a thing. A car costs money even if it ain't, even if it's paid for, because it's got insurance and gas and maintenance. A house still costs money even if you paid for it. But the things that I can get and possessed in myself, respect. Can't nobody give me that. I got to earn that myself. I got to earn my own respect. I got to compromise with myself. We can't be going over here doing this and X and Y and Z because you know you're trying to do something. You can't keep doing the same way you was when you was 27 or 22, 23. My mouth was rear fire. I had 3 kids. I didn't care. Like, you gotta laugh at it though, because it's like thinking about it like now, like baby, woo, I cut you out real quick. Sacrifice, a sacrifice with you, baby. I've sacrificed. I got these 3 kids, and they mine. You got to get out of that stereotype. Communication. You say he don't listen, and he say you don't listen. So that means neither one is listening, right? So we ain't in sync. So does that mean I leave? I'm stuck on this communication. All because I did have to jump a plane, 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was back in Oregon, walking up and down my cousin's hill because she lived down the hill to get to the bus. Because me and this person was where communication was not of the essence in the relationship. Respect, compromise, sacrifice, and then the last one, maturity, wasn't there because in order to communicate fully and understand each other wholeheartedly, you do have to be mature. You do, not me, you. And with being mature, it allows you to understand and listen. And it allows you most definitely to listen with love. When you listen with love, you listen with patience, with kindness, with gentleness, with meekness. You listen with self-control, not to respond to react. You're responding to listen. Love is listening. The highest form of listening is kindness and your mouth closed because you're listening with love. If you really want to tap into that man's heart, the same way I just said it, which is listen with love. I'm gonna turn around real quick. I don't know if you can see the flower. He's going. He's trying to walk by real fast. But the flower that's right there is a pink flower. There's some other little flowers with me. I know flowers. What? It ain't about the flower. It's about before it was a flower, it was a seed. If you really want to bloom, go check your roots right now. Because ain't nothing wrong with the seed. It's the roots that's connected to you. Arrogance, pride, jealousy, envy, debauchery, manipulative. I'm gonna get it down, Pat.
Manipulative, yeah.
Activity, When you're connected to things that are about foolishness, these things detach you from the essence of your nutrients to help you grow. You are a seed planted to grow, to evolve. If you really want something, want to challenge yourself to grow from those things that are taking you from you. Want to challenge yourself to grow from those things which are surrounding you, and you need to be surrounded by people that are like-minded. Want to grow so that you can walk away from anybody, people, places, or things that aren't stimulating your life. Cultivating the garden of your soul so that you can evolve and elevate into your truest self. The sexiest thing on a woman is the fact that she knows who she is and where she came from, and she can share her story and be wholeheartedly honest. Baby, I still got a little bit of that on me, but you know what? I ain't there no more. That's beautiful. I used to do this and I used to do that and I used to be somewhere of every place. Girl, honey, let me tell you. But I laugh at it because I'm like, what was I thinking? I don't even know. I don't even care. But you know what? Hey, like Celia said, good God, I'm here. Forgiveness is what actually elevates you. You got to sit down with you and forgive yourself for the things that you've done, how you are right now, and where you're trying to go. So that them open door seasons of your life can be there. Those of you who are married right now, I'm not been married, but I can tell you this, forgive you, baby. Just forgive. Don't beat up on yourself for how you are right now. Forgive so that you can continue to see you. The most beautiful thing is seeing you in the eye of how God have you. If beauty is in the eye of the beholder, then go sit with the beholder so he can show you who you are. Take it away, T.
I mean, I you said a mouthful right there. I was just sitting and just listening and all that stuff, and you said a big mouthful. I mean, I would just say some final words,
Yeah,
and
cause I trying to go give me some little. I'm trying to go crunch a little hours on an off day, but I did take
yeah,
this day to make sure that I really wanted to have this day with you, because even though it's Juneteenth, the
yeah, I
biggest
was just
thing about anything for our ancestors, they knew who they were and where they was trying to go. Who are you, and where are you trying to go in life? Is it really with somebody? Because if it is, you know, Lieutenant over there, I'm telling you, he gonna come back with 5 more things to give to you so that you can really walk in your own essence. I liked how he said your presence and your intellect. The one thing a man can do for me is open his mouth. You see how I smile? I'm giving away some sauce, some nuggets. When a man open his mouth and I hear him talk, and it's all like intellectually on this higher, like, oh, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, cause I be wanting to be like, can I come take notes? I'm so humble and cute with it. And it's not me acting. I do that with my own kids. I got 2 boys and a girl. You see me saying about my daughter this morning what she said, and she's 26. Enough is enough, people. I don't care what age you are, younger or older than me, whatever, in between. At the end of the day, it is people out here that is tired of you not walking in your own true essence. Stop running around here and living in this superficial fantasy world and putting on costumes that don't belong to you, because you're not walking in your true identity. And we need to walk from those things that got us mentally right here. And we need to walk around those people who's trying to snatch you and suck you back in. Baby, go snatch their mask off them. They a pretender they self. And we need to walk through whatever it is that's hindering us and keeping us like a little crab or something, trying to catch you and catch you and catch you and try to hold you back in something, so that you can walk in your true identity. and walk by faith and not by sight, because ain't nothing more beautiful than you knowing who you are, which is a seed planted to grow, and you knowing the fruit that you are. Are you an apple tree? Are you a banana tree? Are you a pineapple tree? Are you a mango tree? I like fruits. Are you a berry tree? I got berries. Okay? You got to know what type of fruit you are, so you can feed yourself the nutrients that you need to grow. What you need to grow. Not your man coming over there pouring in your garden when he's supposed to. Yeah, you supposed to. He ain't about to be pouring no good water, no fresh water on something that's over here all rotted out from the root anyways, and you ain't went in there and pulled up your roots, and you talking about, come help me, help yourself, and challenge you to grow. See, any last words you want to give to the superstars out there so we can all continue to shine in our own light?
Well, I mean, I could say just, you know, when y'all having conversations, you know what I'm saying, just try to understand each other. Try to listen to, um, listen to freaking understand instead of listening to react. Um, Ladies, learn how to be able to communicate with your man. Learn him on a different level. Um, from a man's point, um, let him be the man, and and let him educate. Let him provide, lead. You are the backbone. Remember, women, you guys were created from the man. God created y'all to be our helpers, because God didn't want a man to be alone. He said that a man shouldn't have to do everything on his own. So that's the reason why you guys were created, to help us, keep us on the right track. You women. You are the backbone to the man. You are a man's backbone. You know what I'm saying? You are there to help stabilize him when he's starting to get unstable. You are there to help him when he's down and out. Um, Relationships, keep those 5 keys of relationships in mind, because trust and believe, if y'all demonstrate those 5 keys, successfully, your marriage and your relationship will be highly successful. You want to know why a lot of these old couples been together for years and years and years? It's because they will definitely tell you that, they will more likely mention a lot of those 5 keys. More likely, hell, they'll probably mention all of them. They won't necessarily say them, but just the way how they're talking, you can just tell, like, yep, what I'm saying, they're mentioning it. You know what I'm saying? So if you truly want to have a successful relationship or a marriage, then you definitely need to practice those 5 keys, and you need to put them into play. Um, that's pretty much all I got to really say. You know what I'm saying? You can go ahead and take it from there.
I'm gonna just say thank you guys. It's always a pleasure to be out here on a Wednesday. It is Wednesday. Walk it out Wednesday. We walk by faith and not by sight. Continue to walk through, walk from, and walk away from anything and anybody that's not stimulating your life, cultivating your soul, and elevating you. But before you stop expecting anybody to do that. Expect yourself to do that on a daily with yourself. Be your own best friend before you try to expect somebody to be the best friend to you when you don't even know where, who, which way you coming from. Oh, I know me, I know me. We all say that. But have you really sat down to really get to know you? Sometimes we do really, when you sit down and you really think about it, if you was to be quiet and listen to some of the friends around you and some of the people around you, it'll make you start seeing how your communication has been. And then when you go back with your significant other, we over here wondering why he's just looking at you like, what you talking about? Like, you ain't talking about that. Because a lot of our nonsense conversations go roll into the relationship. We got to stop having nonsense conversations and start having these conversations that are meaningful and fulfilling and purposeful for our lives, so that we can go and pour into the home and pour into the man and pour into the children. A woman is a nurturer by nature, but you got to learn how to nurture your own garden, so that the garden that you provide for home front is constantly transforming lives, not just your own. You guys, I love you. Have a wonderful, worthy Wisdom Wednesday on purpose, and continue to shine. Before you guys go, catch Big Three Man Talk on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and catch Speak to My Heart and Big Three Man Talk together. Another episode probably tonight. So y'all might as well get ready. Cause Ryan, he he ain't nice like T, you guys. But I thank you guys for being here. Thank you for joining us. And we're out, you guys. But to continue to each and every day say yes to you, love yourself, and walk in your own true purpose. Deuces, gotta